What's going on, family? Welcome to Thursday's edition of Behind the Rhyme. I'm your girl, Lady B, hip-hop historian with my side joint over here.
Charlie McMahon.
Charlie McMahon. Making sure I get it right, Charlie.
Charlie McMahon. Just put the Mac in the man.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, listen, you always need a good sidekick, a good, sturdy sidekick.
And you're the best one, man. You're the best one. I'm loving your work, Charlie. I'm loving your work.
You're the queen.
It's an honor to have you, sir. It's an honor to have you.
Listen, no, there's an honor for me to be in your presence, to be actually with you, the great queen of hip hop.
Thanks, Charlie. I appreciate that, man. Peace and blessings to you.
All right.
So we're going to have a conversation tonight. We have some great guests. We got our girl Salt of Salt-N-Pepa in the building.
Legend.
Stand up, represent.
Legend in the building.
Yo, my man Ed Lover is in the building.
Another legend in the building. Come on, son. Come on, son. Come on,
son.
Come on, son. Come on.
Our man DJ Wiz is in the building tonight. Oh my God.
I don't know if he's here yet.
He's coming. I'm just letting you know what's coming up, what's coming. Who else is here, Charlie? Who else is here?
MC Shadi, gotta be tough. Gotta be tough.
Yo, Shadi is doing the dirty. He's getting his DJ on.
Hey,
like,
Shadi, do you still have to be
serious
tough?
about it?
Do you still have to be tough? I just need to know if you still have to be tough. Because we're older now.
I'm all right.
No, I said, do we still have to be tough?
Yes.
Not no more.
Okay, gotta be soft. Okay, what do you think about that, son?
No, I ain't down with that. All right, who else is here?
You got DJ Wiz. Where's DJ Wiz at?
Wiz, where are you, man?
Mr. Funky. Where's Mr. Funky?
All right.
Lord Underground. Mr.
They're
Funky.
coming. Right now, I have you on the phone. Yo, Saul, I just want to say thank you for calling into the show the other day. People loved hearing your voice.
She got to unmute her mic. I think her mic is muted. Right?
Oh.
I got it. I think I got it now.
There she goes. Look at the queen. Look at the queen. Look at the
There
queen.
you are.
Look at the queen.
Saul, I said thank you for calling into the show the other day. You are truly a gem, sister. I appreciate you so much.
Oh, absolutely. You know you would, girl. Anything for you.
They were requesting Salt-N-Pepa songs all day long. You started some ish.
I know that's right. You one of the ones that helped put us on in Philly. Philly always showed us so much love.
Always.
Oh my God. Always, girl. Always. It's the showstoppers. What?
Yeah, the showstoppers. No, AB. Hey, Salt, do you remember when we did New York versus Philly and I came to pick y'all up on the bus? Remember I had the Ewing sweatsuit? You remember that?
No.
No, you don't remember that? Yeah. So listen. That was still, no, listen, we all had on Ewing sweatsuits, and that was just before y'all changed your name to Salt-N-Pepa. You were still showstoppers.
That's going back.
Yeah, so I think we got who did we get?
We were Super Nature.
History back.
What you say?
One's over here on the wall.
Yes, right. Yeah. But I remember coming to get y'all, and we all had the Ewing sweatsuits on.
That's when Ed Lover was still a security guard at Andrew Jackson High School.
You ain't tell me about that. Okay.
That is absolutely.
You ain't tell me about that. You provide security?
My humble beginnings as a high school security officer in the city of New York. Absolutely.
Wow.
And during that time, I'm the one that secured the building for Kid and Play to do Rolling with Kid and Play. They shot the video right there in the high school, and I'm actually in the video playing a lunchroom monitor. So
with the uniform on?
Yeah, no, we had the lunchroom uniforms on, but I was actually in Kid and Play's Rolling with Kid and Play video.
Wow.
Too much.
No, so
I remember that.
Did the kid respect you in the school?
Video, I was at that shoot. I wasn't in that video, but I was there.
Did the kids respect you in the school?
Yeah, man. I was
Did
only
they call you Mr. Lover?
But you know.
You were young then, right, Ed?
Absolutely.
Really young.
Yeah.
He had braids on his back then.
At a high top fade, Charlie, back at a high top
fade. Hey, come on. Come on. Oh, you had the Gumby. You had the Gumby.
You were adorable, Ed. You were adorable.
Listen, I never had that's a Philly thing. I'm a New York kid. I ain't do the Gumby, man. I did the Gumby. Well, the flat top came from Philly anyway, man.
It did. I'm glad you get it to us because it did.
Yeah. A lot of the hairstyles that were adopted in were originated out of Philly and then just happened to come our way. But you know, Philly has always been brother
Stylish.
to New York. You know,
it was like a little brother. Look, little brother.
Yeah.
That's why Salt and them stayed in Philly so much. Because I think we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Let me tell you about Philly. We appreciated everything about New York. So we would constantly bring y'all back down. We would come on down. We're gonna spread love on y'all. We're gonna give you all the love you need. Right at the highway, hour and 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like a second home.
Right.
And all these years later, up until Lady B, when you did your thing, when you brought everybody down, your anniversary. I mean, I was shocked at the way Philly was still just.
Let me tell you about my first anniversary, Charlie. My 30th, the 30th that she came down with where Will and you and everybody.
The rain.
It was torrential rain, right? So, you know, when it's time for Sandy and Cheryl to come on, the rain had just like started real bad. And they're like, oh, wow, we're going to end the show. And people was like, no. My aunt
people stayed in the rain.
They stayed in the rain and walked out in the pouring rain. May my aunt rest in peace, but she was 70 something then. Wow. She stood in front of the stage. She was y'all biggest fan. I lost her a couple years ago, but she loved y'all so much. She was drenched. And I'm like, yo, come on, let me take you in the dressing room and put on a dry shirt. She's like, no, push it real good. Like she was in it.
I just knew that place was gonna empty out. I was so it was like the rain even made it more special.
It was.
It did.
That was amazing.
Will Smith said to me that night, he was like, "Are you having as much fun as I am?" I'm like, "I don't think so, dude." And he was so mad because all that doing my hair and putting on a pretty dress and all the makeup artists and all that. When I saw folks out there dancing in the rain, I just went in the rain. And Will was mad. He's like, I can't go out there. I'm like, you're a superstar. I'm out there. Like, it was so much fun.
So real quick, so Shadi, so I didn't know you was originally from the Bronx, from New York.
I didn't either. I thought you were in Hotlanta all the way through. I didn't know that.
How did it come about?
No, I'm from Bronx River Projects. We moved to Atlanta when I was 11. Okay. So I was like more raised down here than New York, you know.
Got it.
So you're officially a Southern boy now.
What year was that? What year was that you moved down here?
1978.
So you essentially were there when Kool Herc was introduced to hip hop. You was in New York, in the Bronx.
Well, you know, Bambaataa lived in Bronx River, so I was introduced to hip hop way earlier than that because, like I say, Bam used to stick his speaker out the window, and then he used to do parties in the back of the center and stuff.
Yeah.
So
the beginning of the Zulu.
Yeah. So I was there when he had the black spades and all that. I was a little young guy.
Yes.
And so this wave that Atlanta actually had over the last, say, 20 years at least, I'm saying you were the first wave of that, for sure.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
It was a local guy in Atlanta in 1982 named Mojo. He put out a record, but it was just in Atlanta. And then, you know, when I made my first record, I was with a record company before I got with Luke called Foresight Records out of Fort Lauderdale, Georgia. Florida. So I was with them and made 2 12 inches, and then I went to Luke after that.
Oh, okay. All right.
So go ahead.
I want to ask him about the whole Atlanta scene right now because I was talking to Ed about it, and I checked your social media today. I see you doing all your virtual parties and everything. How are folks acting around you? Are people losing their minds, going out, getting a haircut, getting hair done? Like, what's going on in Atlanta?
I mean, you know, people just out there like ain't nothing really going on. You know what I'm saying? You go to Walmart is packed. You know, wherever you go, it's just people everywhere. They acting like ain't nothing going on. You know, Atlanta, you know, these people down here kind of ignorant. You know what I'm saying? So
you really said it, I didn't.
Hey, Shawty, come on, Shawty. Come on, Shawty. Come on, Shawty. Hey, Shawty. Shawty, I'm going out, Shawty.
Hey, he said it.
How you feel about that, about this whole situation going on right now in the world? How are you feeling about our state that we're in, just in the world right now?
Well, I just lost a cousin. He was only 49 years old, and he did have underlying issues. He had hypertension and he had diabetes. And my aunt, who's in her 70s, she also had it. She was sick for 4 weeks, they were living in the same apartment together in Brooklyn, where it's like really like a petri dish in Brooklyn. You know, it's very concentrated there. And, you know, before it hit me that close to home, I obviously was definitely paying attention because I know somebody that knows somebody that lost somebody. I also know this brother that owns a funeral home in Brooklyn. So I called him and I was like, how real is this? You know, and he was like, yeah, we're turning away bodies. Like, we can't even keep up. So for me, early on, I was able to say, you know, I know people that have been affected. I just buried my cousin the other day. It was a very sad situation. I couldn't go into the funeral home for you know, the funeral. We did a procession to the cemetery, and we couldn't get out the cars. And if we did get out the cars, it had to be like 4x4, and you only could be out of the car for a minute. Wow. And I'm standing there looking at my aunt, who's very close to me, and I'm like, I can't even hug her. Wow. You know, so it's really, really weird, you know, people having to go through this, and she's by herself in Brooklyn in an apartment that she's lived in all her life. No one can go see her. And she's being really strong, thank God, because it helps everyone else to be strong. But saying all that to say, I don't know what's going on. You know, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I believe they took the towers down. You know, I'm that person.
Right.
But I'm also a level-headed person with sense that knows that something's going on, whether it's man-made, whether it's planted, whether it's, you know, aimed at our community or whatever. Right. We still have to be careful. We still have to be following the rules, especially if you're sick, you know, already you have these underlying issues. But it's just a sad situation, and it's just surreal and strange, and I just don't know, where do we go from here? You know, that's the kind of thing that kind of keeps me up a little bit at night. But mostly it makes me closer to my God. You know,
well, I was about to say that. To me, that's where you gotta live at. You gotta live there.
You gotta stay right in that space. That's the only way you're gonna get through this. That's right. That's for sure. That is a fact.
Absolutely. It's the only thing that keeps me sane. And you know, you can go left a little bit when you're just living in your own world. But then, you know, when something like this happens, it just reminds you, you know, that you have to really be real about your spiritual disciplines in order to keep your sanity, you know, in order to keep your peace. And when you're the rock for a lot of people, you know, they can't see you, you know, being depressed and anxious and scared. And, you know, I got kids that live with me. My daughter and her husband live with me. My son lives with me. So we're just here, you know, just making the best of a horrible, horrible situation.
Right. Well, you just, my soundbite to that is, don't worry about Corona, worry about the Creator.
That's right. That's
Man, listen.
Okay.
We all gonna be out of here one day. So
yeah, well, that's my point. That's my point. Right? so to me, I feel like we've abused this planet, and I feel like the Creator ain't happy, and he said, guess what? Y'all come on and have a seat.
Everybody's on a timeout. Everybody's on a timeout until the flowers grow back.
That's how I feel.
Everybody's on a timeout. That's right.
I really feel that way. Like, again, see, for me, I don't really, and I do appreciate the part of being a conspiracy theorist. But for me, everything is spiritual to me. Everything is good and evil, right? So I feel like I'm saying we've not appreciated what's been given to us, and when you don't appreciate something that's given to you, it's taken away from you. You know, and I just feel like I'm saying we've been abusing this planet for a long time. It's like, okay, and guess what? And still, with that being said, we still haven't woken up. Still today. Because I think. What do y'all think?
I think things are going to change after this, Charlie. I think people are going to notice that. There's so much good. It's crazy to say coming out of it, but we're closer to our families. We're more brotherly and sisterly to our friends. Right. We are more respectful to our parents. If nothing else we get out of this, it's that. I
agree.
I understand. I heard Salt's pain the other day, not hugging her aunt. My family went through the same thing. It's hard, but it's the respect factor is not hugging her and making sure that when this is over, y'all will hug many days to come.
Right.
And it's time for us, especially as African Americans, to instill that idealism in our people as leaders, as voices in hip hop or whatever we are. People actually listen to what we say, and believe it or not, we have an effect and an impact on folks. So, and I was talking to Ed today, you know, we're still on the radio talking to folks every day. And I was asking Ed, are you telling your people every day, just reminding them of, you know, the pertinent information, but the good side of this virus is that we are going to get closer with our families. When are we ever going to have an opportunity to be with our children this long without being on vacation and somebody getting on a ride or going to a beach or anything like that? When are we going to get this one-on-one, sit down, rap about some stuff time again? I don't see it in the near future anytime, because as soon as this is over, everybody's going to get back to work.
So. See, and I was going to pose that question to the room. What percentage do y'all think that's going to shift? What percentage do you think will make the shift and kind of conform to the new reality versus who's going to just kind of continue with their lives? What percentage do you think?
I don't know what I think. I can say what I hope.
I think it's going to be a global shift. I just feel like people are really afraid. They don't know who to believe, what to believe. I'm like Salt. I saw the video Plandemic that was floating around before they took it down. I believe this is a money grab for a lot of people in big pharma. Mm-hmm. And I believe that this is man-made, and they put this out there, but they didn't know that they could not control it once it got out there. But back to your question, Charlie, I honestly believe people are going to be away from, they're going to be nice to each other and nice to their immediate family, but all that shaking hands and hugging and all of that stuff that used to go, it's not going to go. It's not going to get back to normal for a very long time, in my opinion.
So how does that? So what do you think, Shadi? What's your feeling about it?
Well, I'm sorry,
No, Shadi.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, it definitely won't be the same, you know, because you know, everybody, you know, says black people, you know what I'm saying? We see our friends at the club, you know, we want to get a big hug and all that. But I mean, brothers ain't gonna be doing that no more. I think they just gonna be shooting the elbow now, you know. And it's gonna be different.
Got it. And speaking of that shifting, I think everybody gonna adapt to Kid and Play. DJ Wiz. Welcome DJ Wiz in.
What up? What's up, Wiz?
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? 1, 2, 1.
Yes, sir.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I hear y'all loud and clear.
I think y'all had something going on 30 years ago. You know what I mean?
Listen, I've seen all of the memes. I've seen the love, and you know, who knew? Who knew we'd be dealing with this right now? And I just want to say I'm glad to see all of y'all here, healthy, alive today. I'm just grateful I'm so grateful to wake up each day. Yes. Y'all have no idea how this has affected me. I know a few people personally, like I heard Cheryl Salt saying, you know, she had losses, and I think I know about 7 people personally that I've lost, and associates on top of that. It's ugly. This thing is ugly. We hear all of the talk about conspiracy. It's man-made. Whatever it is dangerous, and we got to be careful.
Whatever it is here. I don't care if it just fell out of a cloud. It's here. Absolutely. and we have to stay woke.
Yeah, it's really just a lot of paranoia going on. You know, I got my mask, I got my hand sanitizer, and you know, I don't really stay in the house all of the time because I have to go out for some things. And you know, when you go out, now everybody's looking around. You know, you got your mask on, don't get too close to me, and I still see people getting right up on you. Like I'm like, dude, like you want to punch somebody? You know,
that was the question in the room. How many? What's the percentage of people that's going to shift? Sure. Yeah. What you think? Salt, what you think?
How many people are going to shift?
What do you think the percentage that's going to shift? I mean, to the new, like again, conform to the social distancing after this. What do you think the percentage will be? I think it's going to be about 20%. I think 20%.
That are going to continue to conform after this?
Yes.
I don't know. I've never thought about that. I think that things are never going to be the same. Like Ed was saying, you know, I think there's always going to be a level of distance and paranoia. I went out, I only go out grocery shopping. That's the only time I go out because I'm actually very happy to be home.
Me too.
Child, I'm so glad not to be on a plane.
Wow.
And nobody can call me and make me get on a plane.
Okay, you have no reason to get on a plane. I talked to Cheryl the other day. She was like, girl, I'm straightening up the house.
Honey,
Yes.
I'm very happy because I get to exercise and I get to, you know, have some consistency in my life, be around my daughter and my son. And, you know,
Right.
I think I've been going for like 5 years straight. I don't know, from doing Vegas to the New Kids on the Block tour to this to that. And it's like everybody grew up. When I went to the family, everybody was, last time I seen them, they was kids, and then they was grown-ups like graduating from college.
Right.
So
I know you appreciate that
very,
time.
very happy to just be in one place. But as far as where we go from here, you know, when I did go out today, one thing I did feel in the air, and I'm in the suburbs, and people are usually semi-friendly, you know, people were very agitated. I was like, yo, what is going on? I just felt this energy of just people being irritated and agitated and on edge, you know? And so I just feel like the atmosphere is going to shift also, you know, and with all the things that we're seeing that's happening in our community, the way they're policing, you know, the hood, different than the way, which is nothing new, but it's like going to a whole nother extreme, different than they're policing the re-gentrified areas of New York. You know, I think that is going to continue to escalate. And I just feel like, I don't know, people that believe in God, you know, that have some sense of spirituality, that we have to maintain that, and we have to be extremely woke and extremely prayerful, because I think this is a spiritual thing.
That's me. I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
I totally co-sign that. Totally.
I agree with you. Totally.
Yeah. You got to stay centered. I don't care if you got to do yoga, you got to meditate, you got to walk, you got to pray, you got to read your word. I don't care what you got to do to and that mind, body, soul thing. Like I'm saying, if you was eating crazy before,
I was about to jump on that. Yes.
Everything healed with food.
Yes.
I've seen things healed with food that people don't even believe me within my own family, like high blood pressure can be turned around. Diabetes can be turned around, you know, and I think for our community, this is the time that we have to think deeper about things, you know, our health.
Right.
Yeah.
My prayer is that we come out healthier after this. That's for sure.
And don't think because we watch the church virtually, you ain't got to pay your tithes, right?
Don't think what?
What'd you say?
Don't think because we're watching church virtually, because, you know, we can't have that many people in the church, so we all watching it online. Don't think we ain't got to pay your tithes, all right? I pay my tithes.
That's right.
That's right.
So just so
I want to
y'all
say
know.
something about this diet. Oh, here you go with the CMOS.
All right.
No, on a serious note, I want to speak about this from a personal experience. This is my 7th week broadcasting from home. And I noticed that when I'm at the radio station every day, I'm ordering lunch. I'm going to after work dinners. You know what I mean? I'm having meetings, and my diet was horrible.
Yeah.
But in the last 7 weeks, I have watched my skin change. I have watched my hair grow.
My eyes.
I feel my eyes are clearer. Everything feels better. I had aches that I was blaming on this and that or whatever. No, I just needed to sit my ass down and be still and get well. And that's what I'm doing.
Bald.
Who'd you say you was going bald, son?
My hair is back. I'm like,
yes,
serious.
and I did my own hair. Like, I'm loving it. Shout out to the Corona hair. What? It's amazing.
Hey, yo, listen. What do we feel about that, guys? Where's our hair at?
It ain't happening.
It's inside.
Y'all ain't coming back.
Look, y'all heads are going to shine better. Y'all heads are going to look better.
Yeah, you know.
Y'all domes are going to
better.
look better. Yeah, your skin, the whole up in
Yeah,
here.
but listen, I'm telling you. Listen. Yeah, it's real. It's real.
And the beard is looking beautiful right now too. That's what I love. The beard is getting all the nutrients it's supposed to get in the first place. So the beard is looking type sexy. So I think I'm just gonna let this rock.
And wait a minute, and he did it himself. Just so y'all know, he didn't go to a barbershop. He's not crazy.
No, I did it. I got T-liners. I bought some T-liners.
He went and bought some T-liners and hooked up his own joint.
Yeah.
Love you for that.
So Ed, you jumped in. You've done TV and film all over the country. You jumped into YouTube very, very early on. What do you think about what's going on today, just in terms of the content, in terms of the shift of it? How you feeling about YouTube and this, just how it's evolved?
God bless it. God bless Instagram and TikTok and everything else that these creatives are using to keep us entertained and keep us happy. And we got DJs like Sade and Wiz and other DJs on there that's DJing, that's helping to keep us entertained. I kicked the dust off my set too. I'm gonna get on one day, but I got sharpened up. And thank you for that, man. But it's just, I think we're getting to the point where unfortunately, some of us who are not 100% into their maturity level yet thinks that they can do anything for likes. That hurts me, because we used to, LOL used to mean laugh out loud. Now LOL means live off likes. And that's the part that bothers.
It's sad. Some people are just outright foolish up on that joint. Just stupid.
Say anything, disrespect anybody. They have no pedigree in which to even speak on half of the things that they're speaking on. And they're doing it just because, somebody hit the like button or they're buying likes. It's crazy the way they're going through this process.
Yo, when I heard about the buying likes, I'm like, that's so sad. That's so sad.
Thank you for the pandemic, because
I wish I would spend a dime on somebody liking me. I could give a damn.
You don't know the people.
Okay.
I know people
Why do I even care if you like me? You could be a crazy person.
That's crazy.
It is. It's bananas.
The likes on the picture, take it down.
It's bananas. It's straight up bananas. It is.
There are really creative people out there, and I applaud those people, but we're being overrun by people who are not that creative. That
right.
think that there's somebody like, I think you got to put some time into this business before you are somebody. And it's not going to be just 2 years. Like, it's still just amazed me right now. Like, I just had a moment right now. I promise you guys, I just had a moment when Salt said Ed. Salt is a freaking legend. Like, she was out before I was even thought about being on here. For her to know me still affects me in a certain way. But I have years into this thing now. So now that I have years in, and I've had relationships with Charlie and Wiz and Shy and you, lady, it's a certain level of, I like to say I'm certified now.
Yes.
No question. You got your check. Yes. You got your check.
You got your check. There you go.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
They're not certified. And unfortunately, a lot of them are never going to be certified because of the way you're going about things.
True.
Yeah, that's so true. We have to lead by example.
You are a staple in this culture, man. Right. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, yo, MTV Raps. I'm just saying,
you couldn't tell hip hop nothing. We had videos. We was look. I was there from the birth, and when y'all got videos, y'all just lost y'all damn.
So we had the elephant.
Listen, you talk to somebody who was there from the beginning. I was telling Charlie the other day when we were talking about Kool Moe Dee, and I said, Kool Moe Dee is from my crate, and that's with no S. He's from my crate. See, I have a crate of records. There was the only records that were out before people had crates plural. I had that one crate. Filled with Sugar Hill and Enjoy. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, it was bananas. And I look at it now, and when we evolved into where Ed and them did the Yo MTV, what'd you say? Yo, son. It went crazy.
That was great.
But it was the best. Can I tell y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I am so glad to come from our era.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When I look around at these kids today, man, they just don't get how much fun and how creative we were and how hard we worked. I see these young boys go up there grabbing their little joints with about 1,500 of their friends. They ain't got no dancers. They ain't got no steps. I'm like, y'all corny.
They're getting too much money too fast.
Whatever, they corny.
And I applaud them for getting money.
Yeah, happy for them and all that.
Respect the craft. Respect the craft.
You need to pay some dancers with that damn money and tell your boys to sit the hell down.
But you know why? You know why it's like that though, right? Because we had to work for it. They ain't got to work for nothing today.
Yeah.
They don't put it anyway. They go on Facebook and they become
I was about
viral.
to say, them damn lights. There you go with the lights. Yeah.
Viral.
Yeah,
you go viral, you're a star.
But you can't even get a deal yet. You can't even get a deal today. The first thing they're gonna say to you is how many followers do you have?
Right.
Sure enough.
Crazy.
Not how your bars sound, not how your track sounds, but who is following you? It's madness. It's madness.
Hey, Salt, does any of your kids, are they into the business? Any of your kids, do they like rapping? Any of your children?
No, actually, thank God.
Only one in the house. That's you, Cheryl. Word.
Really? You wouldn't want them to do it, huh?
Seriously, my daughter is oh God, I have to do the mom-daughter brag thing. Like,
you have to do it. Go
that
ahead.
girl is from another planet. You know, she went off without a hitch. You know, she graduated, she went to college, she studied abroad, she had a job before she even got back from France. She's been working ever since. She married an amazing guy. She's a vegan, tree hugging, God hugging.
I love it.
That one right there, I swear, I'm just blessed.
Amazing.
Here's the boy.
What's up with the boy? Don't do that. He's a whole different thing.
He's 8 years younger than her, so he's in that Gen Z or millennial, generation that's kind of like, you gotta push them a little harder. You know what I'm saying? So I'm praying for my son. I'm sure he'll get it together. But it's that sense of entitlement that you guys were talking about. That is just like, man, it drives me crazy, yo. I'm like, dude, you this is not your house. This is not your money. You did not.
But they don't believe that. Look, they don't believe it. They don't believe it. And they ask for stacks. They ask for stacks. I mean, they don't come for $5. They ask for stacks. Little Bahia will ask for, my niece will ask for $2,000 like it's $2. I'm like, are you serious? I mean, she'll pay it back. She'll pay it back, but it's, she just like, it's not a big thing.
Let me put a question out there for everybody that got kids. Is some of them a little less driven than others? God bless their little heart. Let me ask you this. Are they the problem or are we the problem?
I think it's a combination.
It's a combination.
I think it's a combination. Because the thing about it, I'm gonna tell you about me, and I hate to use the word old school. I believe it's the only school, right? And that's, again, the creator said, honor your mother, honor your father so that your days could be longer, right? The reality of it today, they make it where you can't chastise your children, but if they get in trouble, it's your responsibility. So you're gonna get in trouble if you chastise them, and you're gonna get in trouble if you don't, because they go out on the street creating havoc. So it's a combination. Once you remove the authority from the home and you remove spirituality from the home, it's in a disarray. Okay? And in schools as well.
I agree. Both of us.
Part of it is our fault.
We wanted to have everything that we didn't have.
That's what I was about to say. We want to do better for them than we did for ourselves. Yes.
And then when we try to scale it back, it's too late.
It's too late.
They already. I remember my oldest daughter, she's great now.
I was about to say the same.
She has my grandson, and she's working, and she does exactly what she's supposed to do. But it was a struggle with her because I remember around college time, she was still in Queens, and she was like, I can't be on the bus. I'm Ed Lowe's daughter. And I was like, let me get you a Honda Accord or something. If you go to school and bring me one semester of great grades, I'll take you to the dealership. You can have whatever you want.
Right.
Accord? I need a BMW or a Benz or something. I'm Ed Lowe's daughter. And I was like, time out, boo-boo. You don't get any of this money.
Right.
You sit your little behind down. And then I had to start thinking about why is she like that? I contributed to that by giving her too much too early.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I have.
I'm guilty as charged.
I have 6 biological children, and I'll be honest with you, because it was so ridiculously hard for me. I made it because I believe if you invest into it, you're going to be more responsible to it. And so I've always been that way. But my kids have rejected that. They like same way with you, Ed. My son told me, "You Charlie Mack, you rich." what? I said, what? My daughter told me this. My daughter told me this one time. My daughter Charlie told me this. She said, Daddy, she said, my money is my money and your money is my money. I said, oh, okay. All right.
Sound like Onyx. Onyx, right?
Okay, huh?
That's what they said in Onyx. That's what Sticky said.
Listen, that entitlement is unbelievable. And see, the thing about it is with me, like I always had this. I told my kids, I said, y'all different than every other child on the planet. I said, because what you do is you determine whether I reward you or whether I scold you. You determine that, not me. Right? So I always said to them, I said, do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. Like, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I got 4 daughters. I've not celebrated a sweet 16 birthday with none of them yet. I mean, not yet, period. I got a 13-year-old now, so hopefully I'll be able to celebrate hers. But my other daughters, I didn't get a chance to celebrate their sweet 16. They were so off the hook. Off the hook. So listen. I told them, I said, listen, you gotta understand who your father is. I'm really like a really dope dad. Like, honestly, like you go to a show and listen, and I tell people all the time, you go to the show, it'd be 20,000 people standing in line, right? And y'all get a chance to go around the back, go in the tunnel, go back. I'm saying you're gonna experience the same show, but the experience is gonna be so different. I said, and my daughter Kelly told her mother, we don't go to the front. My dad takes me to the back. What? She didn't want to go. She didn't listen. She did not want to go to her grandmother to a show. She said, "My dad don't take me
to it though. You could contribute to it. What are your kids?
That part of I did. That part I did.
Yeah, we all guilty of that one.
That part I did.
And uncle name is Will Smith. Hello.
Let me tell you something.
Hey, but Charlie, I'm gonna need you to back up off of your daughters though, because you know those are my nieces, and you know, don't
I hear that.
You know. I was at them sweet 16 parties. You missed them because they were the bomb. I'm just saying. Whatever. Don't come for my kids. I'm just saying. Y'all, I want to touch on something serious. Jogging while black.
Oh God.
We can't have a show tonight without addressing it.
I'm Aubrey.
Anybody want to start? Your thoughts?
It sickens me to my stomach because the whole point of it is, who are you to criminalize that man based on the color of his skin? And this is something that we've been dealing with, Charlie, Wiz, Shy. Y'all can, as black men, we've been dealing with this our entire life.
Right.
Every single day, somebody either subtly or blatantly reminds us that we're African American in this country. He was jogging. You have no right to run up on him and criminalize him. That's blatant racism. That's all it is. It's blatant racism. It's Glenn County here in Georgia, and they're taking too long for the grand jury or the prosecutor's office to do anything about it because one of them was an ex-police officer and worked in the prosecutor's office. We've already had 2 prosecutors recuse themselves from the case. We're learning about something, y'all, that happened in February.
Right, bananas.
February 23rd.
Oh, wait. So that didn't happen last week or a couple of days ago?
No, February.
No.
February. Now
this happened in February. And here's the thing. They're saying that it can't go into the grand jury until June the 1st because of the coronavirus and courts not being open. And here's the thing. I'm sad to say that racism isn't going anywhere. So, like you said, these gentlemen were racist. You just going to think that this brother is a criminal, jogging down the damn street, no hoodie, no Trayvon Martin stuff, not looking suspicious, not coming out of a store, jogging down the street. So you as a racist, keep your racism. You can have it, whatever. Pray for you. Good luck with that. But you cannot shoot me.
Right.
You have to keep that racism and your gun and your bullet to your damn self.
Yeah.
So these 2 guys literally hunted
defense on the fact that there was a struggle. That's what they're going to try to build. Watch this very closely. They're going to try to use the same Trayvon Martin defense
stand your ground,
man, because they're going to say, well, he grabbed my gun, but nobody's going to say you didn't have the right to even approach him with a shotgun in the first
place. Pull a gun, exactly.
Yeah.
So they literally hunted this dude down.
They're saying that they thought he resembled someone that had been committing robberies in the neighborhood. So even if it was like Trayvon, rest in peace, and he had the hood on and you really couldn't see him clear, this brother has no hat on. He is jogging down a sunny street in broad daylight in the afternoon.
You know what this is, Lady B? This is the excuse that the cops used to always give us to harass us as black men. Oh, you resemble somebody that did it. We've all been through it. You resemble
they all look alike to me too, but I don't have a right to shoot their ass.
Right. You resemble this guy. Oh, there's some break-ins around here, and the guy's driving the same kind of car you're driving, so that's why we pulled you over. And then if you ask to see, let me see, your correspondence that you got that say that this is the kind of car. Oh, that's a reason. It's a reason to stop you and a reason to harass you because you're African American. Point blank and period. Nothing else.
I want to say this, y'all, in reference to this story. I was telling Ed, my biggest fear is when these things happen, when these cases happen, we as African Americans, we get together, we march, we yell, we scream. However, we are still trying to practice social distancing. So I want everyone, I know I'm going to think on it and pray on it tonight. Think of how we can contribute to this fight from our homes. What can we do collectively to come together to voice our opinion? June 1st is right around the corner. And this thing is going to go to the grand jury. This is a case that's going to be in our news and coming out of our mouths for the very near future a lot. So I was just thinking today, and I would ask that you guys do the same. What can we do? I'm seeing the, run with Arbery and all of that. But I think as a people, we have to come up with another strategy right now because we're angry about this. And I still don't want my black folks coming together and catching this virus. So that concerns me.
We could pull up. You ain't got to get out the car.
That's true.
We could just have like a car rally. Like a car rally. Just
happy birthday
traffic
out the window of the car. You don't have to get out the car. We can pull up.
I like it.
Pull up.
I like it.
Create more petitions too. There's a whole lot of online petitions about bringing this guy to justice.
And start calling the prosecutor's office and keep putting that pressure on. Governor, he's done a lot wrong, but he finally tried to do something wrong as the governor here in Georgia. He already said, you have to get this in front of a grand jury immediately. He's already on top of it. It's become political now.
Yes.
So we'll see how it turns out, but I know what they're going to try to fall on because any good defensive lawyer would say to stand your ground. There was a struggle. The man with the shotgun feared for his life, so he shot him.
They chased him down. They chased the guy down.
Yeah.
They hunted him. They hunted him there. Hunted him.
No
like an animal.
It's okay to hunt us down, Wiz. You know that.
Yeah, but there's no justification to try to. Why don't they just say, hey, stand still and call the cops? Why you got to shoot the guy?
That's what I'm saying. Be as racist as you want. Just don't pull your gun out and shoot my ass. That's just
why you calling them in the first place.
Right.
We have to worry about it now. I got to teach my son a whole new set of rules to go outside.
Yeah.
Drive a car.
We do.
Get pulled over by the police.
We do.
Walk down the street. There's a different set of rules. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
I with my son, he jogs, in the neighborhood, and it's a predominantly white neighborhood, and I'm always worried about him, because I know they automatically going to assume that he doesn't belong in the neighborhood. Yeah. And when I saw that video, which that video took me down for a day. I was almost sad that I watched it. But I feel like that's the type of stuff that we really have to see. I posted, but I didn't post the video. I think I'm going to go ahead and post the video. I think it's too graphic for a lot of people. They feel like, but I feel like we got to be graphic. You got to look at it because it could be your kid. My son is 20. That kid was 25 years old. And I prefer my son to, when he runs in the neighborhood, I want him to run with a dog. So it's like the fact that I gotta have him run with his dog so he don't look like he just running, in the neighborhood it's crazy that all these years later, since Jim Crow, since slavery, that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of when they chased us down because they heard that we did something and they put a rope around our neck and just pulled us up. It's no different.
They call it in the news a modern day lynching. It's sad. Listen, I know we got a lot of I want to bring this conversation back around to some happy. We all know how that is because we don't have much time left. So I want to ask some fun questions, like starting with you, Ed. Give me one of your favorite moments from your MTV Raps.
Without the shadow of a doubt, was being able to do a week worth of shows with the Godfather of Soul. without it's one of
Wow.
my memories. I know a lot of people have a lot of people have funny feelings about the man. He's been found guilty of doing something horrendous, but Bill Cosby being on the show for a week is one of my fondest moments because he actually called me at home and asked me, could he be on your MTV Raps, and then had then
You
he
know
had
what?
had me on the Cosby show, and of course doing all the spring break stuff, and well, one of my favorite, just now that I look back at it, it came out in April, just released another anniversary for Who's the Man, was just working with Cheryl and them on that movie, man. It was like, we didn't know what we was doing, but we created a classic, and I'm very, very proud of that. The first and only hip hop whodunit.
I got a cameo on that. I got a cameo.
Wiz is in there. That's right. Wiz is in that joint.
Wait, I have to say this. Bill Cosby was my first boss's best friend. I was around Mr. Cosby a lot when I first got into radio, and I don't believe that he called you to get on Yo MTV Raps. We argued about hip hop music. He dissed it all the time. He didn't like it. We argued about hip hop music most of the time. He was at the radio station, and he finally gave in and asked you to come on.
My daddy I
don't believe that. I don't effing believe that. I don't believe that.
His daughter. It was actually his daughter that was watching it, and he came into his dressing room. His daughter was in there watching it, and he said he looked at it. And he said, "You was doing some kind of character on there." And I was like, yeah, I told him what the character was. He said, man, I was cracking up, man. I thought it was so funny. He said, listen, I want to come down there and do you guys' show, and then I'll have you come and do the Cosby Show.
Wow.
That's at the height of the Cosby Show.
That's crazy. Hey, Salt, I got a question for you. What was that concert when you stepped on stage and you realized that Salt-N-Pepa was an international phenomenon, when you saw that many people in the audience? Real rap. Were there butterflies? What was going through your mind then?
Oh man, you know what? When we started having international success, going overseas, different places in Europe, and seeing, that we had all of these plaques, there going platinum and gold in Germany and so on and so forth. But I recall one time stepping out on the stage, I want to say it was London. I'm not completely sure. And it was an arena. It was a lot of people. And when we came out, the crowd screamed so loud. I kid you not. I looked behind me to see. I'm like, who just walked on the stage? Did Michael Jackson just walk on the stage?
Right.
I'm serious. I was like, what are they screaming for real? So you know what I love about that, this generation that I'm talking to right now, is the humility I feel that we've all maintained. To hear Ed Lover not really completely grasp, how iconic he is in this business, to me is a kind of humility that we have, and an appreciation that we have, for what we accomplished in this business. And I say never lose that, because it keeps us all grounded. And I think that's what keeps us having longevity in this business. So I'm looking at a screen full of icons.
No,
me too.
Listen, with that being said, and I love that you gave Ed that, but how have you been able to maintain your humility? I'm talking about stealth over 3.5 decades. How have you been able? You've never been this anal kind of arrogant. Just you've always been pleasant all the time. How you do it?
Thank you.
Always.
Am
I lying to anybody? Anyone? Am I lying in the room? Everybody.
I will co-sign that. I don't care if something is going wrong, whatever.
Yes.
Cheryl is the level-headed one.
Mm-hmm.
I will be honest. When the rest of us are losing her mind, including myself, she has always been my angel.
How have you done? How did you do it?
On my shoulder, calm it down, bring it down a level. Everything's gonna be okay. Praise God. Come on.
I know that you got saved. I'm saying, but I'm talking about early '80s. I'm saying, I'm sure you had God in your life, but you wasn't. She was still
the calm one. She was still the calm one.
No, but I want to know. I want to know from her. How did you do it? How? With the massive
Well, you know, I come from humble beginnings, you know, like everybody else. I grew up in Bushwick section of Brooklyn. We didn't have much. I have a very, very strong mother, you know, in my life that is my mother has been through hell. Like I won't go through the hell from losing her mother at 8 years old. A cop shot my grandmother in her home while she was pregnant. And she had 12 kids. She left 12 kids and had number 13 in her belly. My mother survived that situation. And then, you know, I can go on and on and on. But my mom is like the sweetest, kindest, most grounded, loving, giving person that I know. So
that's where you get it from.
Yeah, it's like she's a piece of me, you know, and she's the first thing I think about in my head when it comes to, you know, other people. But beside that, I didn't get here by myself. You know, shout out to Herbie. We give Herbie his props for
yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't trying to be no rapper. Herbie made me a rapper. You know? I didn't do this on my own. You know what I'm saying? And I had a partner that, you know, her voice fit with mine, and it kind of all came together in a way that I couldn't really be like thumping my chest, you know what I'm saying? I just felt blessed to be able to do it and do it so big and to be so appreciated. So loved.
Let me tell you, the chemistry between those two, I saw it from the onset. I saw it. I think I predicted that they would be as big as they came out to be, because first of all, the name alone, the Salt-N-Pepa.
Excuse me. Breaking news. They arrested the father and son that killed the kid. They just arrested them.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yes. Yes.
Can we take, listen, can we do this, please?
I just got chills.
Can we take a 60-second moment of silence for that, for the family, for the Aubrey family? Can we take a 60-second moment of silence? Let's do that.
Starting now.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. No, that was for that brother. That was for that young man.
Alhamdulillah.
Ahmad Arby. Our prayers are with you and your family.
Absolutely.
Ahmad Arby. Wow. Wow. Wow.
I think you guys just spoke that into existence, didn't you?
Every hair on my body is sticking up.
Yes, I just got chilled. I just got
really
got the Texas down.
I got the goosies like crazy.
Me too, Cheryl. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. When I get off a plane and I'm traveling, I just wanted to tell Cheryl this and bring this to her attention. When I get off the plane and I need that burst of energy, I just put on you and Kirk Franklin's Stomp, man, and it just puts me so full of life and so full of joy, man. Because I know that my God is a good God, and I know He's not going to leave me. He's been keeping me grounded and humble, and keeping my family healthy, and my friends are healthy. I also want to say rest in peace to Fred the Godson, a really incredible MC that didn't get to, you know, unfortunately lost his life to COVID-19, but he was so dope on the mic. But I just want to thank you, Cheryl, for doing that record, because a lot of us, you know, we turn to God and when we need something. We don't turn to God, wake up in the morning and say thank you. Right. You know, and you know, since I've been in Chicago, I've been on a spiritual journey, man. I joined a wonderful church out there headed up by Pastor Corey Brooks called New Beginnings Church in Chicago. That's the pastor that stayed on the roof in Chicago for 3 months during the winter to shut down a sex hotel, drug den, and ring of prostitution. And it's just been such a spiritual awakening for me, man, to just get back to Jesus. You know what I mean? And I'm never going to stop praising God. I'm never going to stop shouting out God's name and what God.
GP, are you with me? Yes.
We have a church. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. They can hate us. They can try to keep us down. We're not going to lose our hope. We ain't going to stop praying. We going to keep the faith. And we going to keep fighting. We going to keep fighting.
Yes,
we all are.
So with that being said, hey Shadi, let me ask you a question, Shadi. So again, like I said, this Atlanta really got a grip on the industry in particular, right? How you feeling about Atlanta and just the whole scene, hip hop scene? Because you ushered it in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, there's other places, I mean, there's other states that the rappers are better and everything. I mean, I don't know how Atlanta's keep pulling it off, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, after the Little John Crunk situation, I think that was enough. You know, Atlanta, there's other MCs better in other places. I mean, it's a beautiful thing that they showing Atlanta all the love for over all these years, but somebody else need a chance. They need to keep moving, because if it don't keep moving, I think it's gonna die out, because people in other states and other places is getting tired of this country stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, I've been here 43 years and I'm tired of it.
I was going to say, that speaks volumes, because you're there.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, and I'm a DJ in the club, and I mean, I cater to people my age, and then later on a younger crowd come in, but you got people my age talking about they want to hear Little Baby. So I'm like, in my mind, yo, you need to grow up. You know,
you had a battle. You've been doing your thing online. You had a battle coming up that you had to cancel because a brother lost his mom or something.
Yeah, she died like 4 or 5 days ago, and like the guy Raheem, he's a legend in Atlanta, because after I came out,
condolences. Send him our love, man, for real.
Yeah, he came out right after I came out. When I started making records, he came right after me.
Yeah.
And he's a legend.
You're going to reschedule that after he has his time to mourn, right?
Yeah, but I hope they don't reschedule it so fast. He need time to mourn. You know?
I was gonna say, give that brother all the time he needs. But yeah, you gotta come back and do that. You liking this? How do you like being a DJ? You too, Wiz. I'm gonna ask both of y'all this question. How's it to be a DJ online? Like, how's it to DJ and there's no crowd yelling back at you?
It's hard, you know, because to me it's hard, because you know I'm keep looking at the phone like somebody show me some love, you know, to let me know I'm
you
doing
need a little
okay,
names
you know?
to go up and down, like, where y'all at?
It's hard. You know,
need them hearts.
Yeah, it's
you gotta get them hearts.
They all at club quarantine.
Yeah, D-Nice set it off for everybody.
D-Nice did the
changed the game.
Thing. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. What an excellent idea.
Yeah.
Major shout.
He literally became the world's DJ.
When Michelle Obama showed up at the party, I'm like, that's it. Drop the mic.
No. I interviewed him the other day. He told me, I said, what was the biggest compliment you got? He said Oprah being on it, because Oprah don't be on nobody's page at no point in no time. He said he did a party for her one time, but he had never engaged with her. He said it was the first time she actually engaged with him. Right. He was blown away. Totally. Wow. He said her and Ella DeGeneres, he said blown away that they was on his page. Blown away.
Yeah,
that was me.
That's what hip hop do.
He's been grinding for a long time.
Yeah. Me personally, I'm really happy for D, because I remember when he started the grind again, and that was probably like the mid 2000s, and D's been going hard ever since. He used to play at a few clubs out here in New York City, Table 50. There was another spot on the West Side where I actually opened for him, because he had like that upper echelon white crowd locked back then.
No, let me tell you something. So I consider myself a DJ connoisseur, if you will. One of the things I'm most proud of Philadelphia is because our DJs were bomb. And I'm going to keep it 100. Yeah. You know, when it came to the whole New York, Philly thing, y'all had the MCs, but as far as I was concerned, y'all couldn't touch us on the techniques.
Absolutely.
Listen, I'm just keeping it 100. So, you know, I mean, a lot of my friends up New York. No, listen, a lot of my boys are DJs, you know, from New York or whatever. But I'm like, yeah, New York DJs, it's a train wreck, whatever. So I went. Queen Latifah, Dana had a party, and I went, and D-Nice was her DJ. And I stood there stuck. I was stuck. I was like, yo, are you sure he's not from Philly? Or maybe he was raised in Philly and then he moved to New York. Like I felt him from his first set. I've been like crazy about him ever since. Like, and that's the thing that you said, you know, a good DJ to me knows how to play to a crowd. Yes. A stupid DJ plays for himself. Right. So if you walk in the club and you thought it was an old school party and it ended up being some younger people there, you need to know how to switch a game on a drop of a dime. And that's what D can do. D plays for the masses. He plays for the masses. He's not pigeonholed into one thing. He knows music and he feels it, and he's just damn good at it.
Actually, he told me, he said when he first started, he said we didn't accept him. He said he had to go out and do the white clubs, and actually, it really is a gift. It was a gift for him because, like they saying, it made him be able to elevate his whole.
It was on the job training. Yes, that's what you call on the job training.
Right. He would play. He would play David Bowie, and then play. He came out smelling like a rose. It's just him. It's just that neck. He enjoys what he's doing so much. He's so in it. Yeah.
Like he's so in it.
Understands his crowd.
It's really enjoyable for us to watch him because we know how long he's been around. Yeah. And when you go back to the Boogie Down Production record, they're going, "What's up, Scott LaRock? What's up, D?"
Yes.
And he's always been a good dude. You agree?
Yeah.
Still the good
just like Cheryl, he's always just been a good dude.
Yeah. Well, all of y'all are still the same too. We all still the same. I don't know any of y'all that has changed. Everybody's still the same, you know. But I know exactly what you mean.
Changed.
Did you?
Hell with that. I had to grow. I changed.
So AB. So I want to ask Salt a question. So I was watching a film on Lifetime a couple weeks back, the Clark Sisters. And during the break, they had a promo for the Salt-N-Pepa biopic. And I was blown away. And it looked absolutely amazing. Directed by Mario Van Peebles, that's my guy. You know, we did. He played, of course, Malcolm X on Ali, and he also directed Empire. Tell me how they came about. And what was it?
You fly, Cheryl. Stop it.
Tell me how did you settle with Lifetime, and did you have your hand in the process of picking director, everything's overall? How'd you go about it? And were you happy with did you pick your Salt, young lady that played you? Did you pick her?
I
didn't go there. It was Charlie.
You know what? It was a group effort. You know, there was a lot of cooks in the kitchen. And so, you know, sometimes you have to kind of compromise and go with the flow. And what I will say is that, you know, I was a team player and I didn't get everything that I really wanted, you know, and so I'm just keeping it 1,000 because I don't know how to do it any other way, you know. But what I would say is that it definitely tells the story. It's hard making a movie these days because a lot of people are suing. If you don't have permission, you can't really say a lot, you know, about what happened. So it kind of stays, you know, on the story of Salt-N-Pepa is based on the friendship. It's really coming from that angle more than anything else. And so y'all just let me know when y'all see it, how you feel.
I wanted to ask you, have you seen it and are you satisfied with the final product?
That's what I'm about to say. Did you see the final cut?
Not the final. We're still working on it. I'm very hands-on. There's a lot people don't know about me. I'm a producer. I'm a writer. I produced Expression, Independent.
I know that.
Brand new album. Yeah, I produced most of the songs on it, wrote most of the songs on it. I can go on and on because Herbie was my man. So he was also my mentor, and I learned a lot from him, which I really appreciate. So when it came to the movie, I'm literally like on the phone with the editor, like trying to get it right. But when you're so close to a project, it's hard to see your life play out on the screen. You know what I mean? I also have to be a little bit reserved and be able to, you know, let other people do what they do, because it's so personal. It's really a very, very strange process to go through. And a little bit is kind of regrettable because you can't give everybody their props, you know what I mean? Because we only got 3 hours. And I'm like, I'm already thinking about all the people that's gonna be pissed at me. Like,
Wow.
you know, I'm ready. It's like when you get married and you can't invite everybody.
Oh,
Yeah. It's like me on my anniversary every year when I have my concert and 25X want to go on stage. I'm like, I can only, every year I go through it. I can only have 6 or 7 at a time, y'all. I'm gonna get to you next year. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Friends over that kind of stuff.
So question, because you said that for the most part, you didn't get everything you wanted, right? And at this stage in your life, right, which I tell New Additionists all the time, right? And I don't think that same thing happened with y'all in your career. I believe that y'all were able to, let me not think about it. Let me ask you. So with New Edition, I always tell them, I'm like, listen, y'all owed to be able to take y'all bow. Y'all given so much away. You know what I mean? When we were doing the New Edition movie, I managed the young kid that played Michael Bivens, Yaz. And I was talking to them through the process, and I said, you deserve to be able to take your bow. I'm saying, this is your life. You only have one time. It's like a cough. Once it's airborne, it's out there. So at the point where, because I remember talking to you about it maybe about 6 years ago, 6, 7 years ago. And y'all were just thinking about, like, I think we might want to do it. How did it get out of your hand, out of the two, you and Pepper's hand? Because again, everybody essentially works alongside of work underneath y'all. Not, I don't get to say underneath, but works alongside you.
But see, that's
I know you to be, you're not, again, you know, forceful, but you're present. So how did you let that get out of your hand?
You know, you sound like a manager right now.
I was going to say, I don't think it got out of her hand. I don't think it got out of her hand. She said it was a team.
No, I want to hear what she says about this process, because I really want to hear it.
But that's a negative statement. You can't say it got out of her hand. You don't know.
No. What I'm saying is that she said I didn't get everything I wanted.
Cheryl, tell us the story, girl.
That's all. As much as you want to reveal.
Tell us whatever you want us to hear, honey.
Yes, that's it.
So here's the thing, you know, when it's not just you know, you working with a team, you have to compromise, you know, and sometimes you can be, even though it's your life story, you can be the odd man out, you know, and then you feel like you're the one holding things up and not moving forward. Or being, because I am that one in the group that, you know, is I'm the no person. We want more money. We want more respect. We want more this. We want more that. We want what we deserve, you know. But I'm gonna tell y'all, like, we gonna really keep it. We keeping it real. Oh my God,
I love this. It's Corona time. We just at home having a conversation, girl. Go ahead, spill it, girl.
Keep it a beat.
1,000.
Okay, so here's what it is. I was in a you can be in a place. I went through a divorce, you know what I mean? Everybody knows about the Spinderella situation, you know, which I hope everybody's smart enough to know that you don't know a lot, you know, about that scenario, amongst other things that I was dealing with in my life personally. So to keep it 1,000, I was not 100% present.
Got it.
During a time that I should have been.
That's called life.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense. And that's enough. That's enough. You don't need to go further. Period, point blank. You know what I mean? Because I
enjoy the movie.
No, that's what I'm saying.
We all love the girls too.
It's Salt-N-Pepa. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the thing about it is that like I have the Teddy Pendergrass film. You know what I mean? So Teddy allowed me to do it. Well, of course, when he was living, he gave us the rights, me and Tyrese. And then, of course, the documentary. The documentary, people love the documentary, but it wasn't accurate. But people love it. The naked eye, the public, they don't know. You know what I mean? They don't know. So I think the public will enjoy the Salt-N-Pepa story. They enjoy it because they don't know the truth. They only know what you're actually showing them. And they're going to take that for the
you really don't have, like, people, they've gotten even tighter. You know, Sony was involved on, you know, getting people's permission. Like, you know how you could just willy-nilly just tell anybody's story and just say whatever you want, you know, like they're so afraid of being sued that you can't, if people are not willing to sign off on it, it's very limited truth that you can tell about someone else's life.
That's why I won't write the book.
Me too.
I'm like,
I can't write a book.
I can't change the names to protect the innocent, and I never mind. I just gonna have to leave it with me. Nah.
To write a book, you have to get somebody's permission to talk about them.
No, but you feel
you have to be. So sometimes people's truth is not a good thing, and then now you have a lawsuit on your hand because you know there's a defamation of character comes into play and.
And it also been a lot of that.
I know what you mean, because Angie Martinez had a best-selling book, and in the book, she claims that when she went to interview Tupac, I walked into the studio when she was editing it, and then I called Puffy to tell him what Tupac was saying about him, and then Puffy called Steve Smith, who was the program director at Hot, and that's why the thing never ended. And I got so much flack for that, and it never happened.
Wow.
It just, why would I do that? Not sent my man Big Glenn with her to California to protect her in the first place. My best friend that I paid for to go with her. I wasn't even, me and Puffy wasn't even tight like that I would do something like that. And I was like, you know, she never came around. Every time she's supposed to come and sit with me and do an interview, it just never happened. I don't know why, but I wish Angie all the best. But everybody has a different view of what the history is.
It's their story, your story, and then the story, and somewhere, you know, in between, there's a story.
I'm gonna write my book. I'm gonna write a piece of it, and everybody that was involved in my life, I'm gonna give them an opportunity to say what they want to say. Because Salt, you know this, and Charlie, you know this, Lady B, you know this, Wiz, you know this, Shadi, you know this. Somebody is always coming up to you and telling you a story about some place that you were at, and so you don't remember.
And you don't remember.
You don't remember it.
Don't remember.
Yeah. So many things happen to us. You can't remember every single thing.
So what you know what I do in that? I say, you know what? I meet a lot of people. I can't remember everything. I'm not a computer, but nice to meet you again. How you doing? Glad that we had a great experience. I'm glad it meant something to you that you remembered it all this time. Not going to disrespect that, but I can't lie because I got friends that go, yeah, I remember. Like, you lying. You don't remember that crap. You don't remember.
Even with your closest personal friends, they look at something that happened that you were a part of differently than the way you look at it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You learn that more and more that as you get older, like you know, there's people mad at you. It's like, I didn't even know you was mad at me. Like, they remember something a certain way.
Hey, you know what? I gotta tell a true story. It's probably not a good one. It's probably some truth for Lady B that don't need to get out, but I don't care because I'm grown now. But speaking of stories that you probably don't remember, but I was living in New York at one time. You know, I did BLS for a minute, and I would just say I was in a really bad relationship, and I was arguing and fighting with this dude, and I was trying to jet, and I was in Queens, and I didn't know my way around, and I called you upset. I think it was like 2 a.m. You were like, just come over here. I got you. Just come here. I'm like, no, just tell me how to get to the bridge. I just want to get to the bridge. I just want to know. That is like one of my favorite Salt stories. I don't even know if you remember that. But I called yes.
Late in the night.
2 o'clock. I know I woke her up.
You
she
probably
was like,
woke her up.
Go to this corner, make a left, and then go straight, and then make a right, and you out. All right.
It's kind of starting to sound familiar to me. I get a lot of late night calls from a lot of people.
That really happened.
So Lady B, you gonna be mad if it ain't in the movie?
No.
Yeah, she'll be mad. She'll be one of those mad. She'll be one of those mad. Yeah, she'll definitely be mad for sure.
Let me tell you who needs to be in her movie, and I haven't seen it. Anyone that she feels represented her story the best to its ability. Right. Like her mother that she just talked about.
Right.
Her, you know what I'm saying? Her and Pep's story is what it is, because if they tried, like she said, if they tried to talk about every experience and every door and every threshold that they crossed, we're looking at a 5-week documentary.
Right.
There is no way. So she has to make that decision, even though she said she wasn't in a good place. She has to do the best with what she has now and the time she has now to represent something that's going to make her feel good when we all see it. She's got to get the best product done that's going to make all of us smile and be happy for our sister, because she's so awesome that Lifetime is doing a movie about her.
Right, absolutely. So with that being said, let me ask you a question. So at this point in your career, you've had great, huge success. What haven't you done that you would like to done in your career, or have you achieved it?
Wow.
Dag, that's a good question.
Wow.
I've done so much. I definitely do want to write my book. You know, when you're a part of a group, a brand, and you get older, you start thinking about, you know, individuating, staying together, but, you know, being an individual. Write my book. I don't know. I think I just want to do. I just think I want to be politically active. You know, I watch a lot of people that
can see you doing that.
Yeah, their lives, like Tamika Mallory, you know, Erica Ford from Life Camp, you know, I've worked with a lot, you know, and I'm at that point where I'm like, I just want to be useful, you know, in a different, in a deeper kind of way to society, basically. So I'm ready to
because you have a huge voice. And again, you have a huge voice, and there's no need of you being quiet. And the thing about it, again, from the way I view it, like you're not trying to be loud just to be loud. But when you open your mouth, you have something to say. And I think right now we in a time where we definitely need that. We need someone to open up their mouth and have something to say. And I think that you're very calculated and thought out. So when you open up your mouth at this time, it's gonna land. You know, it's gonna land. It's gonna be strong. Like they said, the kids say, it's gonna hit different.
Yeah, that's right. That's so true.
Highly respected.
Yeah, she's so level-headed. She's perfect for that, and she's got this. You know, when Cheryl talks, you wanna listen, because you feel like something pleasant is about to happen. No one's yelling at you. Absolutely. So her loud is not disrespectful. Her loud represents an open heart. So.
Yeah, well, I appreciate y'all saying that. Y'all make me
Come on.
We're encouraging you, Cheryl. We're encouraging you to step up.
So listen. So another thing too that we did some 31 years ago, we boycotted the Grammys, right? How do you feel now? How do you feel now, 31 years later, in terms of as far as hip hop? Did we get our just due? Do you feel happy about where hip hop has grown and where it's at right now? And then who are you listening to right now? That's a question for you, Ed, for you, Shadi, and for you, Liz.
Are there any young artists?
Yeah, I want to start with Saul about this in terms of boycotting 31 years ago, and then where's hip hop at, and then you feel like that it's been respected and been held up at this point in a high regard.
I'm gonna pass that to you first, Ed. I'm interested in your answer.
Well, when the boycott of the Grammys happened, I thought that was probably one of the greatest moments in hip hop history, one of the greatest things that hip hop has ever done, because we weren't getting the respect that they needed, the respect that they deserved. They weren't getting any of that. Now, as far as it's concerned today, I still don't think they get enough respect as far as, you know, hip hop is concerned, because they gave Run DMC a Lifetime Achievement Award and didn't even air it. Like, Run DMC is like one of the most important groups in music history. Right. And they took it on the screen when they was going to commercial, but then we had to see some rock group that we don't even care about play. So I still don't think that, as far as awards is concerned,
who gives an F about a Grammy?
Should it be another boycott, you think?
Yeah, why not? Stop showing up. You stop showing up.
I don't agree. I don't think that. I know for us back then, hip hop was a new genre of music, and we wanted to be accepted by everyone. We wanted our equality. I don't think we have to worry about their acceptance right now. I think with this new technology and the new world that we live in, we can have our own Grammys. We don't have to wait for a group of people to justify us and our talent. Right. We ain't got to march on them. We can take that damn energy and start our own Grammy show.
No, I agree. But I'm saying, I think Jay-Z said it on the Grammys one year. He said, no, it doesn't validate us, but it does matter.
Right.
You know what I mean? It does matter, right?
It helps the sales like crazy. I know that much.
Yeah.
I heard that, right?
Still pushes.
There might be some monetary value there.
The streaming, yeah.
Yes.
Streaming is,
but what's it going to? But what's it going to mean? Like Ed said, if you cut the commercial and you don't even play our part, I mean, let's look at what they did when we boycotted that year. I mean, how dare you give Will and Jeff the Grammy but y'all not going to air it? You might as well just kept it.
No, listen, no, B. We were all at the La Park Hotel on top of the roof. That's where we were at. We didn't go to the awards. We were at the La Park Hotel.
No, I'm saying the parents got the Grammy that night, but that's my point. They weren't airing it that
we weren't there. Yeah, we wasn't there. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So listen, I think we've had an amazing ride, and unfortunately, we're coming to a conclusion on this wonderful.
I'm so glad we had this time together.
I definitely want to thank you, Saul. I want to thank you, Ed Lover. I want to thank you, Wiz. I want to thank you, Shadi.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, so listen, me and Shadi early on, we were both afraid to fly. He was a little bit more afraid than it made me comfortable. But I asked him the other day when I talked to him, I said, are you still afraid? He said, absolutely, but I'm with you. We're brother, band, and fear in the air. You know what I mean? So again,
I just want to say I love you all. GP, are you with me? I'm glad that we shared that moment tonight. That was real. That was real love. I still got the goosebumps.
Yes.
I couldn't have shared it with better people than you guys. I love you all. Continue to stay safe, and let's do what we got to do. And good luck to everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, thank y'all. Everybody be well, stay safe.
Yes.
And
Yo, Cheryl, go clean out that closet so I can get those clothes.
My garage is full of bags.
I'm waiting here for my hand-me-downs. I'm waiting for my hand. But you got some fly and shit. I want it. All right.
Be blessed.
Thank you, Charlie, for inviting me.
Oh, thank you so much.
Is there anybody that you don't know?
I know, right?
You know, yeah. I'm gonna tell you, the Dalai. Listen, I got invited to have lunch with the Dalai Lama, and we were filming. Listen, we were filming. I had to decline the.
Can we hang up on him now? On that note?
No, really. I'm not bragging.
Producer, take him off the screen.
I'm not bragging. Listen, he was in LA. Listen, he was in LA. We got an invitation to come, but we were filming Empire, and I was mad. I really was upset about that.
Wow.
When he put up a picture of Barbara Bush on her birthday, I was done. I quit Charlie that day. It's a wrap. It's no.
I've enjoyed my life. I said I'm the ultimate fan with the ultimate access.
I can't.
yes, you are.
And let me tell y'all, and just notice before we hang up, all those old pictures, that was before a Facebook, that was a damn MySpace, that was before. He had Polaroid cameras with him everywhere he went when we were kids. He's been taking them damn pictures. Those are instant pictures that he's posted.
Right.
Them joints ain't in no computer, they ain't no camera, they in a box. He has pictures in a box.
No, listen, all of Will throwback pictures are my pictures. When I used to take them, he's like, why are you taking so many pictures? I said, one day, his office called me and said, listen, Will needs those pictures. I'm like, really? He need them now, huh? Really? He needs them now, right? So listen, and it's crazy because every time I would see Salt-N-Pepa, we have to get our, whatever year it was, photo. And so I have them all. I got them. You know what I mean? I have them.
I saw a picture
Just call Charlie. He has anything that you want. I can ask Charlie, do you have a picture of me in high school? Give me a minute. I'll find it.
I do. I have so many pictures of me and me. I do. I really do.
You have some, Ed?
I do. I got
a lot of stuff too, but Charlie Mack be putting up pictures of us from his first celebrity basketball game.
You can't beat Charlie. You can't beat
so what?
I don't think Ernie Panicoli can beat Charlie Mack.
It's a wrap.
Oh, you gotta have Ernie on one day. That's my man.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We were saying goodbye. Who's spinning? Who's coming up, Charlie?
DJ Wiz. DJ Wiz. I'm a video DJ.
You got the technology.
Love you guys.
Do what you do. I love y'all.